Hello to 10, my name is Julian and I'll be your host for this Let's Play video. I'll be playing one of my all-time favorite games, Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Heroes 3 was released at the turn of the century on 20th February 1999, so it's a pretty old game. This game has several modes of play, so we have single player scenario with plenty of scenarios to choose from and great diversity, different victory conditions and loss conditions, so plenty of options there. We have the multiplayer, which we can go online, or we have this hot seat option, which is very exciting. You can have your friend with you right beside each other, which is pretty awesome. And lastly, we have the campaigns. As you can see, the story is told from alternating points of view. You can play the good, you can play the evil, and you can play the neutral alignment, and the story is told from each faction's point of view. As you progress, more and more campaigns will be unlocked, such as these. The storyline is very closely bonded with the previous series of Might and Magic, Heroes 1 and Heroes 2 with all its expansions, as well with the Might and Magic series. Now, Might and Magic series had 8 sequels, and Heroes of Might and Magic reached a 6th installment in 2011, and the 7th will actually be released this year in 2015. So as you can see, this game is part of a much bigger fantasy world, where a bunch of sequels were created and expanded on the same storyline. Sequels are great for developers. They are less risky and they're pretty much guaranteed to bring in more money if the original was a success, which was the case for this game. I mean, waters were already tested, and unless somehow the developers screw up big time and negative reviews start pouring, the fans will most likely buy the sequel as well. So let's start with the campaign. We'll go with Long Live the Queen. This is basically the campaign background. It tells us what's happening, and this is the scenario descriptions, what we need to do. We have 4 options to choose from: first aid 10, some pacments, and some resources. I'm gonna go with the resources here. I'm gonna skip the video because we don't have time for that, unfortunately. More background story. It tells us what's happening and that the Nigon occupation it's on their way. So now we're rallying our militia and we have to eliminate them. So we're gonna attack these NPCs, but I know they're gonna join me. Well, first of all, I'm surrounded, and you're not expected to fight so many soldiers with just, I think I had 16 pikemen to begin with, right? Okay, so now that I have my army within the first day, a pretty significant army actually. Basically, this game is a TBS, and TBS stands for turn-based strategy. Unlike strategies like StarCraft and Red Alert, where actions happen in real time and simultaneously actually, in a TBS each player takes turns in moving their heroes, capturing resources, and engaging in combat. So basically, once I'm going to get this army here as well, and I'm going to build this town hall because I need that income. I only have 500 and I'm gonna have 1,000, so that's awesome. Gonna get this treasure chest here. Gonna go for the gold again. I'm a bit greedy, what can I say? And now once my movement speeds are spent and I already built, I have nothing else to do, so then I have to end my turn. So basically this is very specific to turn-based strategy. Everything happens in turns. So now the computer took his time to make his moves. Obviously computer is pretty much instant. But with against a player, that would take longer, of course. So, like in all strategy games, there are 4 main goals. The 4 X's basically: explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. So right now I'm exploring, and I'm also exploiting the land, taking this wood. I took the sulfur. I'm gonna take this mercury. You know, I'm exploring new stuff. I found a stable. I found a windmill, which is gonna give me more resources. I'm also expanding. I'm gonna build more buildings in my castle here. I'm gonna go with a blacksmith because the barracks require that, and I think City Hall requires a blacksmith too. So that's the next logical move. And lastly, once you're expanded, you're gonna have more castles as you conquer them. You can have more heroes as well. Basically, usually your endpoint is to go in and conquer the enemy and destroy them. So basically this game is a combination between Aegon and Elia. Basically Aegon is competitive gaming. You can play against players, as I mentioned, and your main objective would be to either go and eliminate them pretty much, or they'll eliminate you if they're stronger than you. Now there's also some Alia elements as well. Basically, Alia is about random number generators, RNG. Let's take this. Let's look here. We have these griffins here. As you can see, they do between 3 and 6 damage. So that's purely random, right? They can do 3 damage or they can do 6 damage, basically doubling their attack. So that's one part of the randomness there. You have morale in battle. You have luck modifiers. Those also will happen randomly. And for example, if you go to this witch hunt, which you learn secondary skill, right now we learn basic air magic, but if I restart this scenario, you might get something else. You might get luck, or you can get pathfinding or something like that. So it's definitely, this game definitely has some randomness in it. Now, because this is a strategy game, you have your resources to manage. You have right here 7 resources. You have options to build here, each building consuming different set of resources, and basically strategy involving, you know, should I go for a city hall and increase my income, or should I go for this barrack and increase my army power, right? And in this case I went with the barracks because one of the strategies to have as many buildings built for these creatures, so that at the end of the next week they will increase by this number here, by the growth number. So in week 2, because I have barracks, assortments will going to increase by 4 more. So I'm gonna end my turn here. Can I battle? Yes, I can. Okay, so I'm gonna engage the strugglers. That should show the second part of this game. So basically this is the exploration mode, but when you do battle, you're also gonna have this tactical mode. So as you can see here, this is very unique to this game, to Heroes. For example, you see only 1 troglodyte here. It's represented by 1, but there are actually 29. You can see it here at the left side. It's 29 troglodytes. I have 14 archers. I have 48. Well, these guys are archers. These guys are marksmen. But I have 48 archers. I have 97 pikemen. So this is a very unique way to show your army composition compared to other games, and it's basically specific to this game. It's a game mechanic basically. So what is fun about this game? I'm gonna refer to Garneau's 14 forms of fun. First, I find this game very immersive. I'm in this fantasy world where, you know, I'm battling troglodytes. There's some hellhounds here. There's some harpies. You know, there's dragons, there's hydras, there's manticores. There's a lot of you know, fantasy creatures that immerses you in the game, and it also has a background story as well. It's also beautiful. Like, I really like how the art is created, especially for a 99 game. It's great. Also, there's some problem solving as well. You know, how I can optimize my army. You know, I can split these guys here. You know, make 2 units, 51 and 46, but basically now I can attack twice because each move individually. You know, should I build, you know, a monastery, or should I go for the marketplace, or should I upgrade my city hall and get more money, right? So there's a lot of problem solving as well. This game is definitely very social interaction, has a high level of social interaction, especially with the hot seat that I presented at the beginning, right? You know, compared to just playing with random people online, or even with your friend online, right? Think about it, with hot seat, what is more fun than to see your friend panicking live, right? And watch his face expression when you crush his army with yours, right? Because you're probably obviously better than him, or hopefully you are. At least you hope you are. Or maybe you find a very unique artifact that's gonna give you such a huge advantage that, you know, he's gonna be a bit jealous that you found it and he did, right? Honestly, very few games offer this experience, unless usually if you have a LAN party, then it's pretty similar. You also have the enjoyment of discovery, right? You're going and discovering new places through the fog of war, like I just did here. I'm entering this snowland right here, and more stuff is gonna happen there. Up here north, I'm discovering this mystical garden, which is gonna give me 5 gems, which is pretty huge, right? There's artifacts to see, like for example here, that's an artifact. So it's a lot of discovery, and it's very enjoyable. And lastly, I'm also having fun achieving power, right? For example, I can see my um, level 1 knight. Right now it's only level 1, but he's very close to getting to level 2. So I'm gonna get more primary skills, more secondary skills. I can increase my number of castle and increase my dominance, right? And I can increase my army. So that's another form of fun, seeing your power growing, right? Now you may ask what kind of personas this game is meant for. Well, let's see, this is a very low stress game, right? I can take my time moving around and planning my strategy, and what should I build, like I'm gonna go for the marketplace this time. So I can take my time. So someone that comes home, starts this game, picks a scenario or a campaign like I just did now, and they can take their time and relax and strategize the conquest, right? Or they can bring a few friends over and have fun battling each other in the hot seat mode. So if I'm thinking about an age range, it can be from like 5 years old to 70 or 80 years old, right? For example, when I started playing Heroes 1, I was only 8 years old, I think, right, in 1995. So it's perfect for a wide array of ages and type of persons, right? Persons that like fantasy, and they like to immerse themselves into nice art that this game offers. Lastly, regarding participatory gaming, this is and is not one of the best, and let me explain why. The biggest drawback is waiting your turn, right? With all the TBSs, you do your turn, and then at the end you have to end your turn. And if you play against a human, that's gonna take a while, right? You have to wait for him to finish his moves, right? If you play against computers, not that bad because computers are usually very fast. So if you're waiting and nothing will happen until the opponent finishes his turn, your telespectators, right? For let's say Twitch or YouTube, right? It can be boring for the audience when it comes to participatory gaming, right? So in that case, hopefully the host will get the time passing by cracking funny jokes or whatnot. On another hand, since this is a turn-based strategy, it can allow some very interesting feedback, given to the player by the participatory audience, right? For example, let's say I'm gonna end my turn here. Let's say I'm on Twitch right now, right? And I'm streaming Twitch Plays Heroes 3, and basically I allow my audience to play the game with me, right? Or through me. So for example, I'm going to the School of War and I'm asking them, hey guys, what do you think I should pick? Should I go for this +1 skill, or should I go for this defense skill instead, right? And because it's a turn-based strategy, I can take my time. Then I can allow the viewers to tell me, either type in, or I can set up a pool that people can go vote in, right? And they can tell me go for the defense, right? Then I can ask them, hey, what should I go for? Should I go for the city hall and increase my kingdom's gold per day, or should I get this stable in order to get the training grounds and get more armor, right? And for example, they can tell me go for the stables. So as you can see, having ample time during my turn, I can take the time to allow my viewers to vote on what my next action should be if I decide to do so. And you generally cannot do this in other types of games, like in StarCraft, right, or Counter-Strike, or even card games like Hearthstone, right? Because the action happens very fast, and the streamer cannot allow the audience to actively participate in the gameplay. However, a TBS does allow that. So this game is very good for participatory gaming if, and I'm emphasizing if, viewers don't mind the boring wait between my turn and the game flow that is interrupted because I have to end the turn every time my heroes have no more moves or I already built everything, right? Now, this is very good if you play against a computer because, as you can see, it instantly finishes your turn, but against a player it might be different. Well, I think that's about it for this session. Unfortunately, I ran out of time, so thank you very much for watching. Have a good one.